Today at E39 Source, we have a clean E60 M5. All that drywall dust is gone from the sanding next door. It shines again. Vacuumed out the interior, cleaned the wheels, a little bit of tire shine. Ready to look good and serve some duty here over the upcoming days. In other news, 540's back on the ground. Front bearings have been replaced. Brakes are put back together. Curved front control arms in. Everything torqued at right height. All four arms in the front, wishbones in the back, links, pinch bolt. Struts, my goodness, all of that is done. More progress on the interior as well. So I, from Adam out in Maryland, received today the non-sunshade. Why is that door locked? That's bizarre. That's a brand new door lock actuator, and the other ones are working fine. Oh, because all of them were locked and the blue bus isn't in to unlock them. That is why. I had already resealed the vapor barrier on the rear right and replaced the lock actuator. I was waiting for the non-sunshade shadow line trim interior upper waist panel, whatever you call that piece, and that arrived today from Adam. So we got these in, the non-sunshade B.5 pillar. I had these guys put those in before. Door panels repaired and put back on. Everything nice and pretty back here, looking fantastic. Sunshade we have half open right now. We cleaned out the old grease in the channel. We have re-greased the whole channel. Haven't tested operation yet, didn't have time to get to that. Rear parcel shelf speakers are put back in, awaiting the return of the parcel shelf from a restoration sublet who's recovering it. And the left panel, left door is done. So new lock actuator, reseal the vapor barrier, same thing, all the trim panels. Full sunshade delete, factory spec on these rear doors. Couldn't be much happier with the condition of these rear panels off of one of Nate's 530s. There was some loose cladding in here that I re-glued on the vinyl handle, so that's all set. And looking great. I did a little test drive, and Mike did another one around the parking lot tonight, and the difference is profound. It's unbelievable. This car's, again, connected to the road. The struts make a huge difference there. The front curved control arm inner bushings were totally shot, detached. They were different arms. One looked like a BMW, the other looked like, not cheap, but a TRW or a Miley non-HD, something like that, just a different part. So new tie rods in the front, just everything. It's so satisfying to take it all apart and put it back together with all the factory parts and torque everything to factory spec. It's just wonderful. We replaced the front, I call it the fuel filter cover, but the fuel filter's on the left. It's the right panel that matches the underbody protection. The one there, all the holes were washed out. They look like shit. So we found a used one we had. It's not perfect, but it's also not like $120, and I'm not striving for perfection with this car. So no longer hanging down, no cracks, no washed out holes in that. So that is done. Now we're going to be able to go and get an alignment, which should make it ride and drive even better, because we've made no attempts to set the rear or front suspension. You know, I did count the threads on the tie rods, but that's not that accurate. It probably came in here in dire need of an alignment too. So that's upcoming. We've got something going on with the headlights that's going to be fun. You can probably make your guesses there. The kidney grills are done. I had recommended a front and rear roundel to the last customer, or at least put it as not a green item. It was a yellow. It's not bad. There's a little bit of fading in the clear coat, but you know, if I start throwing tons of money at that one, it still needs transmission and other much more important things. That's just a misappropriation of funds, in my opinion. So the rear one, yeah, I can see what I was talking about there. Let's get a focus. You can see the discoloration in the clear coat. Those are cheap enough parts, and I can do that at any time. It doesn't really make sense to do with another job. Little goodie I didn't film the other day. It's got a new gas cap with the tether still attached, so that's nice. Feels better. The old one I don't think was sealing very well. We've got a radiator on the way. At the same time, we're going to do the 90-degree thermostat. Coolant lines have to come off to get to the Vano solenoid. Gaskets that are leaking. So, wow, this car has come so far in just a few weeks' time. We tested out a new helper today, kind of a new part-time employee. Worked out really well. Let me throw this away so I don't have to carry it. He did Nate's rear struts. Don't worry, Nate, under very close supervision. He did excellent work. None of this is rocket science back here. This right rear corner had been a part in the past, likely to do the vapor recovery, charcoal canister, something like that. There were some missing and incorrect fasteners. We have since corrected that. I have not been able to find this bracket. There was a zip tie in here before. If you know where to look for that, I haven't spent a ton of time on it yet, but there is a missing bracket back here as we discussed. I need to locate that. I need to hunt that down still. So struts are in. Weird clocking on the top mounts. It's not like the E39 where you just match up the flange on the bottom of the strut that goes in the wheel carrier in between two of the studs on the top mount. This one is a weird angle, so we had to make a few adjustments. Also, the TIS states that these need to be torqued at ride height, so they are finger tight right now. We can't torque at ride height because we don't even have anything close to a front wheel. And I don't want to try to balance the car and not have the weight distributed. So I've left a note inside that we're going to torque that when we have the front wheels and front suspension done. Undid the rear links per TIS. We need to replace the lock nuts. That is a factory lock nut. It doesn't look like it looks like it's too thick. It's not. That's how the old ones look. That is torqued down to 47.9. We rounded up to 48 foot-pounds. So lots going on there. Then tomorrow, this is going to be where we spend tomorrow. So we got the Vanos boards back from the doctor, and we need to reseal the valve covers, install those boards in new profile gaskets, put the intake plenum back on all the cowling, fill the radiator, drain the oil, take the oil pan off, inspect the pickup screen for debris, inspect the oil pan for debris. A bunch of work there. It should be all day. His parts are all in his trunk, and that's his plenum over there. So if things go really, really, really well, we will have a running, hopefully, S62 in this guy again, and then we can focus on really why the car was going to come here anyways, and that's a bunch of cosmetic improvements, not limited to a cowl, windshield, gasket, all the normal stuff. So very productive day here at the shop. I'm happy about that. Time to get home. It is 9 o'clock. Mike's going to come over after a shower, and we're going to get some in and out. Talk to you all later.